And at times I'll be kind of like pinching myself, like, oh my gosh, like I'm actually being paid to be here to do this. And
100%.
there were times where I would like dream of being able to work in music, like,
Right, yeah.
and it's like I'm doing this, and
You're doing it with somebody that is like established and made a name for himself. Do you know what I
exactly.
mean? And I think it's so important that people understand nothing in this life is out of reach. I
Mm.
think, you know, we see like a celebrity status, or we see all these things, especially through like America. Like
Mhm.
they've kind of are the beginning to a lot when it comes to like the music scene, the
Mhm.
film industry, stuff like that. And they've made their celebrities, they've put their celebrities, sorry, on such a high pedestal
Mhm.
that I feel like people, regular people, you know, that want to make a career and a living and something from these industries feel like it's so out of reach.
Mhm.
And you're somewhat, well, no, you're not somewhat, you are living proof that you just got to go for it,
Mhm.
and you never know what can come from it. Like,
Mhm.
you basically did all of that in a year.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Crazy.
Like, when you think of it like that, like you've achieved so much in a year, and on top of that, you're a singer, songwriter, like you do your own, and you have your own
Mhm.
music. Do you know what
Mhm.
I mean? You have that passion for yourself. It's not like this is just the be all and end all for you. Like, you
Mhm.
want more for yourself, you have more for yourself.
Mhm.
But the fact that you can even enter those circles and be successful in that environment is amazing. Like, I
Yeah.
love that for you.
Thank you.
You're
Like,
welcome.
honestly, it's I know a lot of people suffered during COVID,
Yeah,
but like for me,
it was.
it was like life changing
Mm,
experience,
mm.
because like off the back of after DNA, he started to work on his debut album, which came out in, so we're now in October 2022,
Yes, ma'am.
May 2022.
Yes.
So check that out, Chasing Euphoria.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Check it out.
So I was there from the beginning of
Yeah.
like we did a few camps, and he had like producers coming down, and my role was to like deal with the administrative side of things,
Right.
logistics and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So just to be sitting in the room like with these producers that I've heard of and just watching it all happen, I was just like, wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
And like, so the first camp that we did was in we like hired out a house in Kent.
Cool.
Crazy house, beautiful place.
Of course, it's M Honcho money,
And
baby.
we just had like we had like Mira come down, and we had
Banging.
Mahalia come down,
Yes.
and like loads of different producers come down, and I was just sat there like, wow, 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 wow.
Mm.
And I thought to myself, wow, wouldn't it be crazy if I was like able to like sing something just
Yeah.
cause like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so had said like he had a vision for a song that he wanted a female vocal sample on, and he was like, yeah, this is kind of what the feel I want to go for. And I was like, I'll do it, like I'll do it.
At that point, did they even know that you sang or was
I
an
think
artist?
they did know that
Yeah.
I sang, but
Because it wasn't like your role. It
yeah,
wasn't
it wasn't kind of,
a
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
And in my head as well, I'd kind of put that to the back burner, because I was thinking,
Mm.
okay, maybe, like
Shift
my,
focus.
yeah, my role doesn't involve me singing, and I
Mm.
will always sing, and that's fine.
100%.
But maybe like I enjoy doing this. Maybe my calling is in management and like dealing with the business side of things.
Mm.
Maybe. So I'd kind of put it to the back of my mind. But I was like, do you know what? He said it. If this isn't God putting an opportunity right in front of me,
100%.
then I don't know what it is. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I was like,
That's if you don't ask, you don't get. So if someone
exactly,
says something, you better just hello,
exactly.
hi.
And I was like I was the only girl in the room, and I was
Ah,
just like, surely
hello.
I can try.
Yeah.
And if
Why
he
not?
doesn't like it, like
You got the
he's well within
option.
his rights to not like it.
Right.
But I tried. So
100%.
he was like, yeah. Yeah, give it a go. I'm gonna just go take a break or whatever, because he'd been recording for some time.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'll come back in an hour and just see what you come up with.
Banging.
So I was like, do you know what? This is my time. Like, okay, all right.
Did you feel the pressure because of the
Definitely,
environment that you're in?
definitely. And I
Yeah.
felt like I had to prove myself, like,
Mm.
because it
'Cause
undeniably it would be a bit awkward, yeah,
yeah.
if I tried he thought it was shit.
Yeah.
Now he's got to tell me that he thinks it's shit.
Yeah. And then also you're
and we
part
still
of the
got to keep
team.
working.
Oh, yeah,
Do you
yeah. It's
know
all a bit long.
so I'm just like, oh, but do you know what? Can't worry about that. Worry about,
Hundreds.
like, if it comes to that, then deal with it. Do you
It's
know what I
cool.
mean?
Yeah.
So he left.
It's a good
And I
thing
was
he
like,
left as well. You've got
yeah,
a bit of breathing room.
a
Like
little
you could
bit.
just, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for leaving.
You could just reset it for a
You
sec.
know what I mean?
Not feel like
Yeah.
no one's breathing down your
Exactly.
neck. Yeah.
So I just recorded little bits and whatever, and then they kind of made it a part of the beat. He came
Banging.
back in the room and he was like, I never forget, he shook my hand.
Oh,
And he didn't even say anything. He
it's
just
a
shook my
sign of
hand. I was
respect.
like, okay.
Yeah. Inside, you're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He shook my hand and I was like, oh, okay, he likes it. And he was like, yeah, this is it.
Banging.
This is it. And it ended up being the first song on the album, like Unappreciated. So that vocal sample is just like me just faffing about.
Get to know.
Yeah, so
Get
check
to
that
know.
out.
Period.
Unappreciated. Yeah, so that was like kind of opened up another opportunity to me, because then like now he knows that, like, oh, if I ever need a vote, like, you're right here.
Yeah.
You're part of my team, and he respects my talent, which
Good.
I admire him for how he's treated me. Like, he knows that I'm here to do a certain job, but he's not going to limit me because he knows that, like, we're a team.
Yeah.
And if I win, he wins, and he does try to like nurture my talent when he can, when it's like relevant. So,
and respect is everything.
100%.
Especially when you're in an industry where it is male dominated.
Yeah.
Like, and not that is a bad thing, but it's just one of those battles that we also just have to kind of get through. I wanted to ask about your confidence during that period of time. Do you feel like you were almost... Do you feel like it was courage over confidence? That's my question. Do you feel like you kind of just had to push yourself to do it, even though you weren't 100% there, like in your heart? Like you were nervous, you were this, you were that. Because undeniably, like, no matter... With me, it's like, no matter how much time I've spent with a certain type of person or people of a certain caliber, I will still forever feel a bit like, oh, if I was asked to do something to be a part of that project. Or even if I was given the opportunity to, even though I might have known these people for months and for years. Like, every time, you know, I meet people, like, I've known Chucky, I've known like Specs for ages, Dan, all of those, like, forefathers, do you understand, of the game? Okay. And I remember, like, when I had the opportunity to be on all their platforms, it's like I've made a friendship with these people, I've made a relationship with these people for months, maybe a year prior. But the fact that you've still like you want to have me on your platform, I was like, oh my god, like, I mean, like, it's cool because I know you now, but it's still like, oh, I was watching you guys for years before I even did my own thing, and now what, like a couple months of me even starting my thing, you respect me enough to have me on your platform. It's crazy. Like, I get that, so I definitely feel it's one of those things, you know, when you grow up in an industry, not in an industry, but in a way where things seem out of reach and and then you finally make it to a place where you're somewhat content and somewhat happy. You still kind of have that in a battle. Do you feel like that was something that you went through in that moment?
I still feel like it is something that I go through now, but it's a me problem.
Yeah,
like it's that imposter syndrome thing that everyone's talking about. Like, yeah, you do. And especially because I felt like for so long it was never going to happen. I was never going to be able to do the things that I wanted to do. So as much as like you're feeling upset by that, there's comfort in knowing, oh, well, you know, it just wasn't for me. But then now you're presented with an opportunity to be like, okay, well, if it could be for you.
Yeah.
And it's scary to go for that.
Yes.
So
yes.
When it was definitely not a confidence thing at all. It was very much like, okay, I have to try, because if I don't, then I'll regret it.
100%. 100%.
So it was just literally like, oh, like, F it, just do it, just try it. Do you know what I mean? That it was not a confidence thing at all. And I feel like there have been like multiple moments in my career up until this point where it's just been like, F it.
Yeah, fuck it. Just
Yeah,
do your thing.
because what what what's the worst that could happen?
100%.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that I've been thinking about a lot, especially this year, nobody really talks about the fear of success.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, not that I'm anywhere where I want to be or whatever it may be, but I have, we thank God, accumulated a level of success within my career in a very short period of time. And I remember the first time like I was ever like recognized, I
Mm-hmm.
was ever on a big platform and stuff like that. I get really bad anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, everyone tells you, you know, this is how you deal with the negativity. Just take it with a pinch of salt. It is
Mm-hmm.
what it is. But no one tells you how to deal with the success.
Yes.
And I remember I literally had like a panic attack one time
Mm-hmm.
on my way home, like on the train, because I was like, and it wasn't from like a negative space. It was from like such a grateful space. But I was so overwhelmed by like all the love and all the hands that I was just being given,
Mm-hmm.
that I was like, wait, what? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's like you said, you've thought about this and you've been thinking about this your whole life, most likely. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is where you want to be, this is what you want to do, and then when it happens, it's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, it's all of it. Like, what do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it's so important that it's something that's spoken about. Do you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because you're here to be successful, and you should never fear something that you've wanted
Mm-hmm.
or you can potentially build and change your life or
Mm-hmm.
people around you forever.
Yeah.
But it's a very real thing, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, and like, I mean, after doing that first song with him,
Mm,
um, he would come to me for like other bits and bobs on the
mm.
album. So like even on the album, I'm there 3 times, right?
Right. Do you
Which,
understand?
yeah,
Yeah.
one song is like CC
Mm.
featuring MariaDrea. My name's there, which
Ah,
is crazy to me.
yes.
And when like the album came out, like after over a year of like working towards it and it being out, I literally sat down and I was just like,
Mm.
what do you mean?
Yeah, you kind of
What
just
do you
got to
mean?
take it in for a
All from a
second.
tweet.
Words.
That's how it feels, like all
Yeah.
from a tweet.
Yeah.
And off the back of doing the album, I then like got offered a publishing deal, and it was like
Banging.
that one
That one
that blew
spun your
my
heads.
mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
was literally in
Mm.
bed in May, sometime in May,
Mm.
and I
Mm.
was just in bed, and Barb's called me, Uncle Crabs
Yes.
called me again,
Yes.
and he's just like, "Oh yeah, what are you doing today?" And I was like, "Oh, just nothing really."
Mm.
He was like, "Okay, well, there's a meeting at Sony, um,
Big, big Sony, you
which
know.
which wasn't an uncommon thing
Mm.
because
Of like,
Huncho's
yeah.
publisher is Sony Publishing. So I'd been there before in a Huncho capacity,
Mm.
having meetings, whatever. I was like, oh
Mm.
yeah, that's cool, that's cool. What time? Yeah, 3 o'clock. But the topic of the meeting today
It's
is Maria as a songwriter. I said, eh?
sorry, what?
So
Uh,
what?
Say that again.
What do you mean? And I'm in bed, like I'm sat up I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Okay, yeah, cool. Trying to act cool.
Yeah.
I jumped out of bed. My mum was in her office next door,
Yeah.
and she was in a Zoom call, and she's like, what? Like
Yeah.
what? And I'm just like, I'm going to Sony, and they want to talk about me. And she's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I go there that afternoon, and I'm playing my music
Mm.
to like one of the heads up there,
Banging.
and then she's like, yeah, cool. So let's have a tour of the buildings. These are so and so and so and so. One of those will be your A&R. And I'm like,
So
but
they
hold
already
on.
are.
I was like, so we're already speaking like this is done.
Yeah, like that's
It's
it. You're here now.
it's finished. And I'm like,
That's crazy.
I literally walked around like,
Huh? Me?
how
Wait.
how is this? How has this happened?
Yeah.
All from a tweet.
All from a
All
tweet.
from a tweet.
Mm. That's actually
Yeah.
insane.
So I mean, that's the position that I'm in now. Obviously, M's released his album. We're working on the next thing.
Banging.
So we're doing that. And then like I've got my songwriting stuff. And this year I've been able to travel because of it. So I
Mm.
went to Sweden
Nice.
for a writing camp that they'd set up.
Cool.
Met some crazy talented people out there, and have got some good songs out of it. Excuse me. And then I went to Atlanta as well for a
Mm-hmm.
an R&B and hip hop conference and met
Banging.
some crazy people out there, like,
Banging.
you know, and have these people as a part of my network now. And I just can't believe like this has happened.
Yeah.
But then as well as the joy that comes along with like being in this position, I also feel a lot of pressure that I'm putting on myself to make the most of it.
Why?
Because this is an opportunity that doesn't come by like every day. And sometimes there are days where like the pressure makes me stay in my bed. Like
it just makes
it's
you
just
crumble
like,
today.
I know I have stuff to do, but right now I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So I need to just
sleep today.
Yeah. Which is not the most productive use of my time, but I do have days like that. I'm being honest.
You know what it is? It's, I think we come from like such a hard, consistent work ethic.
Sorry.
It's okay. I know you're fine. We come from like a crazy work ethic. We don't know nothing else but like work, hustle, hustle, hustle. That like you need to be okay with having those days. Like everyone has those days. I probably have them 3 times a month. Do you know what I mean? Like I will just not go to work. I have to stay in bed because if I move, I might have a panic attack. I might break. I don't know what's gonna happen. Something's gonna go wrong.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's very important to just fully immerse yourself in your experiences. Of course, make the most of your opportunities. Don't ever get it twisted. But it's the idea of like work hard so you can work smart. Like you have built so much for yourself. Like your foundation has been done, cemented and is there. Do you know what I mean? That now it's just about working smart. So like you can have those days and you shouldn't have to feel guilty about having those days, because when you're out of that, sometimes you just need a moment to just be in your feelings and then that's it. Like it's like whenever I say to anybody that ever asks me about, they're emotional and they're crying, I was like, look, something happens, you get 24 hours to cry about it, to scream, to run, to crack, to sleep, whatever. Those 24 hours, do whatever you want to do. As soon as that is up, get up, pick yourself up, dust it off, whatever it is. It's hustle time now. You got to get your shit together. Do you know what I mean? So definitely like have those days. It's okay to have those days because you've been working towards that moment your whole life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it still feels very surreal. Like another surreal thing that's happened. In Atlanta, I met a guy from Toronto. His name is Capital. Shout out to Capital.
Okay.
And he had mentioned to me that there's a song that he feels that like needs a female vocal and blah 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 blah. And I was like, yeah. So when I got back home, like he sent me the stuff and I worked on it. And a week later, a video was shot for the song. And literally last night, he texted me and he was like, "Oh, the song got played on Joe Budden podcast." And I was like,
period.
He sent me the video. I had a look at the video, and it's my voice in the video.
Period.
And they're like, "Yeah, this is major, yo."
Yes.
And I was like, "Huh? Me?
Yes, you.
Mad.
Yes, you.
Very mad." So
it's mad, but look, it's only up from here. Do you understand? Like even if anything ever happens, it's not a thing because you've built that for yourself. Like it's purely just we're making it, so we're gonna keep making it until we've made it. Do you know what I mean? That's amazing. That clip is on her Instagram, by the way.
Oh, you can check it out.
Check it out. Go to the Instagram clip first, so we know we can build up the algorithm and mentions there. And then if you want to go check it out on the actual pod, you can go do that as well.
Thank you. But yeah, that like, and there have been like so many little moments in life that have just happened like that, like where all the stars just seem to align. Like it's God, but
of course it's God.
The phrase, the stars align, yeah, and it's just crazy. Like what was one thing, like I said to myself on my vision board, I'm going to the Brits this year. I'm going to the Brits this year. I'm trying to figure out a way to get to the Brits.
Hey yo,
the Brits are getting closer and closer, and I'm like, it's not looking like I'm going to the Brits.
Listen,
I'm like, what?
The Brits.
This is not my vision board said I was going, so how am I not going? Then I get a text.